Для кого-то это профессия, для кого для кого-то это страсть, для кого-то любовь, для кого-то смысл жизни. И очень важно, чтобы люди, которые придают этому огромное значение, объединялись и занимались любимым делом. И сегодня цель нашего проекта – поговорить о спорте, вне политики, и попробовать разобраться в том, что происходит сегодня, о тех национальных видах спорта, о тех видах спорта, которые объединяют и, слава богу, не политизированы. Мне приятно, что на нашем круглом столе высокие гости. И я бы хотела предоставить приветственное слово Андрею Юрьевичу Белянинову, генеральному секретарю Ассамблеи народов Евразии.
Уважаемые друзья, здравствуйте. А это механический переводчик или живой? Спасибо, у вас дословный перевод, великолепно. Я не хочу говорить много слов. Мы не первый раз уже встречаемся с друзьями господина Далберсинха. И я встречался 2 дня назад с председателем профсоюза спортсменов России, и он сказал, господин Рожков, Павел Рожков, он сказал, что ему очень нужны контакты среди профессиональных союзов Индии. Если это будет тоже результат сегодняшней встречи, это для меня будет, я буду очень доволен. А сейчас я предлагаю приступить к обсуждению все, что указано у нас в плане сегодняшней встречи. Эльмир, вам слово.
Ну, я и хотела бы представить еще своего самодератора, господина нашего большого друга, который является членом Генерального совета Ассамблеи народов Евразии, высшего консультативного совета, вице-президентом Индийской ассоциации тенниса Далбиром Синхом. И самое главное, наверное, давайте начнем работать, времени мало, у каждого выступающего не более 3 минут. И в связи с у нас есть очень важный гость, я бы хотела передать Далбиру Синху, так как он представит гостей с индийской стороны.
my very distinguished friends from the Eurasian People's Assembly who are here for this international roundtable on sports unites people. It's a very important theme for all of us today. And I also take opportunity to welcome all my Indian colleagues and friends representing different federations. Representing different federations, from cricket to tennis to wrestling to rowing to mountaineering to golf. So a number of streams are represented here, people sitting on my left, and very accomplished sportsmen. And I'd also like to welcome Honorable Bhuvneshwar Kalitaji, a very senior parliamentarian. Not only is parliamentarian, he is vice chairman of the Rajya Sabha Upper House. And not only that, he's been consistently been a sports administrator. Even today, he's vice president of Indian Olympic Association. We have had a long association in the Commonwealth, Olympic, number of these associations together. And he's here with us. I'm very happy here to share this evening. And it's an important subject because within our assembly, we recognize the fact that world is torn by conflict. World is torn by aggression even today. No region is spared. And I think one of the major areas we can really promote harmony, we can promote brotherhood, we can unite people, we can, create the kind of bonding. It's only through sport. Whenever I speak on this subject, I often quote, India and Pakistan are not best of friends. But let me tell you, if there is an India-Pakistan cricket match, there is not one chair empty. Okay. You have goosebumps. Everybody wants to be there in the stadium watching the match, and nobody will leave till end of the day. So it's that sort of a passion and emotion sports generate. We've seen FIFA in Russia, we've seen FIFA in other places of the world. How much of emotion it generates. You see, Messi playing, you see Ronaldo playing, you see all these world-class players, for that matter, even Tendulkar, great batsman of our time, and even now Virat Kohli, when these people play, it doesn't matter. Even within the region, it can be Bangladesh, Pakistan, whoever watches Kohli bat today making centuries, you get excited. It's an enormous, medium through which, things get transformed. People forget prejudices. No one talks about his religion when you're on a field. A bowler can represent one community and the batsman can be from another community. But a good century and a good bowling is always appreciated by sportsmen. This is how sportsmanship is all about. It's about equity. It's about sense of justice. It's about sense of empowerment. It's about sense of equality. And you transform societies and communities through sport. I wish there were more sports tournaments, more matches, and a very large amount of youth that is drawn into nefarious activities and activities that are really not good, not conducive to benefit and development of humanity. They will all be drawn into sport, and world will be a better place. And I'm sure with this roundtable, with participation of so many people from across Central Asia, Russia, and we'll be able to share our views. We'll share our aspiration, how we can build sports fraternity and make this really a better world. Thank you.
Отлично. Я хотела, чтобы у нас... Давайте начнем работать. Я предлагаю представить... У нас есть, пожалуйста. Возьмите, пожалуйста. Возьмите, Станислав. Извините, техническая. Я предлагаю начать работать. Я прошу Илью Валерьевича Ломака, генерального директора ОНО дирекция спортивных, социальных проектов и программы Евразиада, рассказать про удивительный проект, который является большой частью Ассамблеи народов Евразии. И мы все ждем. Расскажите, пожалуйста, про этот проект нашим большим индийским друзьям.
Thank you, Elmira Muradbekovna. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Greetings from the capital of the 22 Olympic Games, the city of Sochi. First of all, I want to express my gratitude to the Indian side. And first of all, and Mr. Dalbir Singh and his help in organization for our event. I would like to briefly tell you about an important and a very promising project. The first games of the Eurasian continent, Eurasiade. In the modern conditions of the formation of a multipolar world, the question of the unifying role of sports is becoming more and more urgent every year. On the meeting of the Minister of Sports of the Russian Federation, Oleg Matitsyn, with the Minister of Youth and Sports, Republic of India, Anurang Singh Thakur, he said about agreed to develop relations in all sports. The Assembly of the People of Eurasian is an organizer of Eurasiade. What is Eurasiade? The Eurasiade is a new multi-sport competition format. A unique international sporting event, the first Eurasian Games in national and non-Olympic sports, a new format of communication of the peoples of the Eurasian countries. Next slide, please. Main goals and objectives of the Eurasiade. Creation of a new competition format and model. Formation of a program outside the political, sports, and cultural movement. Development and popularization of new sports of Eurasian continent. Formation of a system for the transfer of experience, knowledge, and traditions. We think about 8,000 delegates from 75 countries of the Eurasian continent will participate in the sports competition of the Eurasiade. The games of the Eurasiade consist of three main parts: sports, competitions in the sport, festival of national and non-Olympic sports, reflecting and culture, history, and current state of society, business, conduction, discussion platforms, and scientific conference. Concept: sport, culture, and hospitality. In sport, the formation of the sports program of the event, multi-sport event, summer, Olympic and non-Olympic sports. Culture, formation of the cultural program of the event, rich cultural program, involvement of local teams, stars of the world and Russian scale. And hospitality, promotion of the territory through the exclusion program, those products and traditions. In this year, between the government of the Republic of Bashkortostan and our assembly on holding the International Sports Forum competitions in ethnic sports towards the Eurasiade in Ufa, Russia, in this year. In August 24-27, and main sports is kettlebell lifting, mass wrestling, belt wrestling, and arm wrestling. The inclusion of other sports in the program is being considered, and we want to invite the Indian side and the Indian sportsmen on these competitions. Yes, and the games of the Eurasian continent will be held for the first time. The emergence of the new format of an international multi-sports event will allow creating and subsequently strengthening and new brands that can eventually compete with the European Games, the World University Games, and the Olympic Games. The right to host the Eurasiade under the auspices of the Assembly of the may be extended to other cities and host countries on a competitive basis. Thank you for your attention.
Большое спасибо, Илья Владимирович. Очень интересно. Я думаю, мы разошлем всем участникам вашу презентацию, и они детально ознакомятся. Если будут вопросы, мы дадим ваши контакты, и, надеюсь, после сегодняшней дискуссии появится много заинтересованных в Евразиаде и участников. А следующее слово я бы хотела дать нашему почетному гостю, члену парламента Бхубанешвар Калита.
Thank you very much. Distinguished dignitaries from Eurasian People's Assembly, my colleague and friend Major Dalveer Singh, another colleague of mine from Indian Sports, and distinguished guests. I'm really happy to be here today, and I initially, of course, I had very little identification with this organization, but as I am introduced today to all of you, and since the Eurasiade has 3 principles of to unite. Today's theme is unite sports, unite people through sports. The theme is sports unite people, and 3 main section that has been identified by Eurasiade is sports, culture, and hospitality. Of course, in a society all over the globe, if it has to shine and prosper, these 3 sections are very important. And I'm happy to know that Eurasian People's Assembly has these 3 themes to develop the Eurasian people and Eurasian people through sports. Of course, the culture is indispensable for every society, whether it is Eurasia, whether it is any part of the globe. So the attempt and the discussions that we are having today is how to develop the unity of the people globally and also nationally. As you have seen, different games and different competitions are being held in the form of Olympics, in the form of Asian Games, in the form of Commonwealth Games, in the form of many other formats. So I think this is one platform which can take up the development of sports and culture, and through its activities, and by having cooperation and partnership with other countries, this can develop. We are people, basically all of us is from the sports fraternity of India. In some way or other, we are related to sports. Of course, I was basically a person from the State Sports Association. And of course, I have served the National Olympic Committee also, till recently as Vice President, and had the opportunity to get associated with different sports globally and nationally. I particularly want to mention certain things, that how it unites people, how it unites different sections of people. But sports is one thing which is spread up to the grassroots. Of course, there are different sports and games in different areas, but I think there is no area left in this country or other countries, the sports, where the sports has not reached. Of course, the sports of a particular area may be different. It may not be an Olympic sports, but they have their own sports, the traditional sports, which of course unites the society at that level in the grassroots. And that is the strength. That is the strength of a nation, and that is the strength of globally. So today's discussion on the theme of sports unites people is an appropriate theme which can spread to globally and nationally, and we'll be very happy to be a part of it. And with this, I thank you all and convey my best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much.
Благодарим вас тоже. Очень интересный и, главное, такой неравнодушный разговор мы услышали от вас. И я бы хотела продолжить. Следующий у нас выступающий Павлюк Игорь Вячеславович, советник президента Комитета национальных и неолимпийских видов спорта России.
Dear members of the conference, dear colleagues, namaste. Уважаемые Андрей Юрьевич, Светлана Константиновна, Эльмира Муратбековна, добрый день. So if you don't mind, I will continue my speech in English. So first of all, I would like to thank you for the given opportunity to discuss such important issue as strengthening of international cooperations in the development of traditional kind of sports. So if you please, I would like to briefly introduce myself and telling some words about our activity to understand you, what we are doing, what we are living for, etc. So my name is Igor. I'm an advisor to the president of the Committee of National Non-Olympic Kinds of Sports. So our committee was set up in 1999. So committee unites an interest of all Russian and interregional public organizations, as well as federations, unions, association for national and non-Olympic kinds of sports is the Russian Federation, in accordance with the Russian Olympic Committee agreement concerning division of activities. On the basis of bilateral agreement of cooperation and interaction, we are also official partners of the Ministry of Sport of the Russian Federation. And since recently, we became partners with the Eurasian People's Assembly, And telling the truth, we are infinitely glad of this fact because we have fully shared the goals and the objectives of this organization. So let's go back to our activity. So our main goals are follows: is organizing participation of Russian national teams in the World Games, as well as other international sports events by the kind of sports which are not included to the Olympic Games program, maintaining the activity of public sports union, promoting national traditional kind of sports and coordination of their interaction, providing priority support of innovational project aiming at comprehensive development of individuals, intensive healthy lifestyle shaping of young athletes and population in terms of keeping and promoting Olympic traditions, the best world and Russian practices, national and international physical culture heritage. So currently, committee comprises 50 regional branches, along with uniting and coordinating more than 70 public non-Olympic kind of sport organizations, which are fully members. Annually, under the auspice of our committee, a lot of sports events of certain kinds of sports, which are not included to the Olympic Games program, take place. Due to the fact that traditional sports are gaining popularity and the number of supporters of new non-Olympic kinds of sports is growing. One of the core projects is holding all Russian open festivals of national non-Olympic kinds of sports. This year, the festival acquires international status and will be held in the end of August in Sarang city. A corresponding invitation to the member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization to take part in the event was already voiced by the Minister of Sports of the Russian Federation, Oleg Matitsyn, during his recent visit to your country. We also hope that in the near future, the Eurasian Games will become the main international sporting event where athletes and participants will be able to demonstrate their skills and intelligence without any external political pressure. This event should be a real sport holiday and serve to unite peoples in the spirit of strong cooperation and respect. So with regard to the announced topic of my report, I would like to tell the following. So one of the cultural practices that gives the most promising hope and gives confidence to improve inter-ethnic contacts and social cohesion in a society as a tool for peace and reconciliation initiative at all levels, ethnic, social, political, religion, etc., certainly are traditional sporting games. The sport is often strongly identified by national political leaders or policymakers as a field of action which improves community spirit and promotes intercultural understanding and mutual respect with the community and between communities in society. What do we mean by traditional sport and games? In the purest sense, there are the games and movements that are traditional to our cultures, from dancing to ball games and water sports. But they are not than that. Traditional sporting games form a significant part of our history and help make us and our variety of cultures that we and they are today. Traditional sports games tell the history of our past and span genders, generation, and individual difference like little else can. By their very nature, traditional sporting games are localized and regional and should be recognized as the necessary counterparts of the globalized mass sports and culture of today, right alongside language, music, literature, etc. Traditional sporting games are a chance to enjoy diversity, a community in an increasingly globalized world. TCG, is how we call traditional sporting games, provide unique opportunities that mainstream sports will not. They are often based on a fun and participation, not competition, and provide a link to something bigger than sports and physical culture alone. These two elements are incredibly important in reaching those who might not be inclined to play mainstream sports, particularly in bringing positive experience in sports and physical culture to children. Traditional sporting games preserve chances to take part in it and benefit from the virtues of community interaction and culture. They are living legacy of what has gone before us and how can we enrich the future. For this reason, traditional sports games are at the core of our common vision. We strongly believe that uniting our efforts will result not only in positive influence or further propaganda of physical culture and sports, but on realizing the importance of national and non-Olympic kinds of sport by our peoples. Due to their entertaining character, speedy perceiving of the rules, inventory simplicity, traditional kinds of sports are regarded the most prestigious basis for an intensive development of the growing generation in terms of physical culture. So at the end of my short speech, I would like to thank you for your attention and express on behalf of our committee our full readiness for cooperation. I hope that together, our country, India and Russia, we can make this world a better place. Thank you so much.
Спасибо большое. Спасибо большое, Игорь Вячеславович. Только вы чуть-чуть выбились из 3 минут, но
Я прошу
следующие...
прощения.
Да-да. Но я надеюсь, следующие выступающие будут в рамках наших договоренностей. Следующий выступающий Рандхир Сингх, почетный член исполкома и генеральный секретарь Индийской олимпийской ассоциации. Пожалуйста. Значит, его нет. Мы переходим к другому выступающему. Дженель Санду представляет ассоциацию Поло. Пожалуйста, господин Санду.
Good evening. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. I represent I'm currently the Vice President of the Indian Polo Association. My background is of equestrian sports and polo both. I was earlier Vice President in the Equestrian Federation of India. So what I say is equestrian sports are, Russia is quite good at the equestrian sports, not so much at polo. And they have this similarity of the human being and the horses being common. I think one thing we can start initially is, which is a non-Olympic sport. And it's quite entertaining when you start with this smaller thing called arena polo. And then it can also encourage the economy of that country by having similar horses bred, which are good for polo. And invariably, for optimization, we have both the equestrian sports and polo put together. And in fact, the 1984 Asian Games, which was held in Moscow, 84, not the Asian Games, sorry, the Olympics, 1984 or 1980 Olympics, the Indian team, I think for the first time, went to participate in the equestrian 3-day eventing around 80, I think 80, not 82, 80. So Russia has that background. I think it's time because transportation of horses is a difficulty. With friendship on both sides, people will ride on borrowed horses, both provided by the Russians on the other side and other countries wherever we host it, and the Indians on this side. So that's my suggestion. Thank you.
Благодарю вас, это нам очень интересно, и у нас здесь представлен, конечно, несколько стран. Так вот у нас здесь представитель казахская, наша уважаемая госпожа Бану, и они тоже очень любят конный вид спорта. И следующее слово я бы хотела передать Аденову Нурсултану Нурлановичу, заместителю директора культурно-интеграционного центра стран ШОС, Республика Кыргызстан.
Всем здравствуйте, меня слышно?
Да, слышно.
Зал, по-моему, не слышит меня, да?
Мы слышим вас.
Слышите, да?
Продолжайте.
Здравствуйте. Спасибо большое за приглашение. Так как у нас мало времени, я сразу перейду на свое выступление. Да, у нас в Кыргызской Республике после саммита глав государств стран ШОС в 2020 году, который проходил в городе Москва, мы, Кыргызская Республика, у себя на территории создали культурно-интеграционный центр стран ШОС и Шелкового пути. И на базе данного центра мы от Кыргызской Республики будем предлагать проекты международного характера, регионального характера. И первым проектом являются международные спортивные игры ШОС, стран ШОС и Шелкового пути. И я отправлял видеопрезентацию, он только на русском языке. Если можно, я бы хотел попросить поставить эту презентацию, и чтобы участники смогли посмотреть.
Сейчас мы попробуем.
Угу.
В эпоху современной глобализации человечество стоит перед большими проблемами мировых кризисов, военных конфликтов, техногенных катастроф и природных катаклизмов. Во имя общего благополучия и безопасности наш мир нуждается в объединении, основанном на глубокой международной солидарности. Великий шелковый путь тысячелетиями соединял Восток и Запад, цивилизации, культуры, страны и народы. В 21 веке возникла новая идея возрождения культурного пояса шелкового пути. Один пояс, один путь. В Хартии об образовании Шанхайской организации Содружества указана ее главная цель – укрепление между странами взаимного доверия, дружбы и добрососедства, совместный поиск решения проблем, возникающих в современном мире. Доверие и дружба между странами – это не только доверие между политическими деятелями, но и между народами. А что может объединять людей лучше, чем яркие мировые события? В начале сентября 2023 года на этом пути будет сделан важный шаг. Кыргызская республика реализует первые международные спортивные игры стран ШОС и Шелкового пути. Это захватывающее спортивное зрелище будет направлено на достижение массового участия спортсменов всего мира, как профессионалов, так и любителей, в программе «Спорт для всех» в возрастных категориях до 35, до 45, до 55 лет и старше. Эти игры впервые дадут комплексное объединение олимпийских, неолимпийских, традиционных и массовых видов спорта. Игры на древней земле Кыргызстана, в самом сердце Великого Шелкового пути, послужат площадкой диалога цивилизаций и помогут миллионам вовлеченных людей приобщиться к всеобщему объединению, массовому спорту и здоровому образу жизни. Здоровье каждого человека – бесценное богатство нашей планеты. Здоровые люди – здоровое общество. Здоровое общество – здоровая планета.
Спасибо большое.
Спасибо большое. И
Благодарим вас.
спасибо большое. Мы направим всем участникам круглого стола приглашение на эти игры. И будем приглашать в Кыргызскую республику. И будьте нашими гостями. Спасибо.
Спасибо большое. Обязательно надеюсь. Надеюсь, мы все приедем в Кыргызстан к вам. И следующий наш выступающий – это президент Ассоциации пола Вишнал Джавала.
Good evening. My name is Vishal. I'm a golf player and a promoter of the sport in team as well as individual capacity. We are promoting golf, which has grown worldwide by about 30% in the last 4 years. And it'll be great to do something together amongst the countries that are present here. And we have extensive amount of golfers in India, lots of golf courses, where we would like to welcome teams to come and play and also visit your country to promote the sport.
А дальше у нас интересная очень ассоциация крикета. И я бы... Да, сейчас. И мы хотим представить слово господину Шептай. Yes, yes.
No problem, no problem. Good evening, all. Yeah, his writing is terrible. Good evening to all, and my name is Vibhakar Shastri. I represent one of the most popular games in India, and of course, it's like a religion in India. It's known as cricket. And I mean, I think everyone sitting here on the panel, on the round table, knows about the game. It is, you know, I believe that in every decade, there is one kind of a icon in sports who comes in one country, represents that country and gets the country together. Whether it's Pelé in Brazil, Maradona in Argentina, Roger Federer in Switzerland, who brings the world together, whether it's soccer, whether it's tennis or golf, Tiger Woods, and the many. And for example, in India, when we talk about cricket, we talk about Sachin Tendulkar. And Tendulkar, believe me, when he started playing cricket and when he ended his career, he was known as the god of the planet Earth, that is India. So I believe sports is a very, very important part where we can get the countries together, we can get the states together without any differentiation in the religion, caste, or anything. Like when Tendulkar plays, 130 billion people pray for him. You know, so I believe we can do a lot, but I don't know about your countries, whether cricket is popular there or cricket is not, but we can definitely get the game together. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Огромное спасибо. Мы знаем, что крикет – это на самом деле как магический, божественный спорт в Индии. И когда говоришь про Индию, ты вспоминаешь крикет. Thank you so much. А следующий спикер – это тут прекрасный хозяин, который нам сегодня предоставил это помещение. Это президент Ассоциации тенниса господин Джохан. Джохан. Я приду.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, on behalf of Delhi Lawn Tennis Association, I take this privilege to welcome you all to our venue here. We are extremely happy that you are all here today.
Now, as far as tennis is concerned, we all aware it's a true global sport. There are more than 150 nations playing at a competitive level. The game is extremely popular around the world. And you all will be extremely happy that we do have our tournaments, which are international tournaments, and we do about 50 to 60 of them in India, where players from all across the world come and participate. And recently, in fact, day before yesterday, we conducted our $25,000 tournament where a Russian boy, Donosky, he won the tournament here in singles. So sports can unite all of us, and there is no better feeling. And once you are playing, firstly, it is a pure meditation. You are closest to the God when you are playing, but you're not thinking of anything else. It's extremely good for health. And nobody asks about religion, which country and all. You all, as players, you unite, and that should be our endeavor. And if we all join hands together, I'm sure in years to come, we will have peace in the world, and sports will be the best way to do it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Огромное спасибо на самом деле за добродушие их. Just moment. I want to say thank you. Да. Thank you. И следующее мы хотели предоставить человеку, господину Потиалю. Это ассоциация. Да. Yes.
Good evening to all of you. And firstly, I'm most grateful to Dalbir sir to have given me an opportunity to be here and speak to this great audience. I am not as lucky to be part of any major sports association, but I'm a very, very keen sportsman, have been a mountaineer and playing ice hockey. So these are the two sports which I feel in Europe and Russia in particular, we can go ahead with adventure sports. And secondly, when I talk about sports, I say it is mainly a team event. Team meaning T-E-A-M. Together, each and every one of us can achieve much more. Thank you so much.
Огромное спасибо вам. Тем не менее, ассоциация альпинистов тоже очень важна, потому что это уникальный и, мне кажется, такой очень серьезный вид спорта. Следующий у нас выступающий президент ассоциации масс-рестлинга Тамбали Амар.
Hello everyone, good evening. Dobre din. I'm very happy and one of the happiest person present here to attend this round table, since it closely relates to our sports, since I am the president of All India Traditional Kinds of Wrestling and Pancration Federation. We have been developing traditional kinds of wrestling across which are competed across the world in India since 2011, and we have participated in various international multi-sports event, Asian Indoor Games, World Combat Games, Eurasian, where World Nomad Games, then Children's of Asia Games. So various kinds of games where mass wrestling, our traditional kind of sport from Yakutia, which is a Russian sport, we have been developing in India. So I would like to thank the Eurasian People's Assembly for organizing and taking an effort to promote and propagate national and non-Olympic types of sports. So I readily agree with the agenda of today, that is of promoting traditional and non-Olympic kind of sports. And we are very glad and will be happy to send our teams for the current first Eurasian, which will be held in Ufa in August. And I would like to thank the organizers of the event, of this round table, and our international colleagues of mass wrestling and belt wrestling for helping us throughout our journey. Thank you very much.
Большое спасибо, господин Тамбали. Это очень интересно, и огромное спасибо за то, что вы едете в Уфу. И следующий у нас выступающий, мы очень хорошо работаем, мне кажется, быстро и оперативно. Следующий выступающий – это General Васильев.
Greetings and good evening to the President and members of the Eurasian People's Assembly, Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. Kalita, Honorable Mr. Major Dalip Singh, Member of the People's Council, and my friends from the Sporting Federations of India. I will start in the words of Nelson Mandela. He said, sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire, unite people. It speaks to the youth in the language they understand. Sport can create hope and harmony. It can break racial barriers, and despite challenges, the positive power of sports is immense. It is a strong communication platform that can promote a culture of peace and harmony. Sports can unite people beyond borders. And coming to specific, to just give you a background, I've been the president of the Whitewater Rafting Federation of India for 5 years. I've been the vice president of the Rowing Federation of India. I've been the Secretary General of the Kayaking and Canoeing Federation of India. I have sent 2 expeditions to Mount Everest. I've been the president of the Defense Services Sports Control Board for 2 years, and I've played tennis and squash at the national level. Coming to this assembly, there's a lot of scope we have between India and Eurasia, where we can exchange programs in different areas of sports, both conventional and traditional. And it can be in terms of sports competitions. It can be in terms of providing coaches, providing guidance, having sub-regional programs where sports persons from various parts of Eurasia and India can unite and play sports. It brings in a lot of harmony and union between the two countries. It's a very good platform. Sports is very important in today's world. You have some very strong sports persons in the world, especially in tennis, wrestling, football, to name a few of them. We can have a number of programs in rowing, in kayaking, canoeing. You have a lot of lakes. We have a number of lakes where we can organize these, and we can start at a smaller level maybe and gradually build up to a bigger level. We look forward to a lot of interaction between India and Eurasia in the matter of sports. Thank you.
Огромное спасибо всем участникам, и я благодарю всех, кто были, особенно в онлайне. Я надеюсь, что мы все встретимся в Уфе на прекрасном мероприятии, посвященном «Навстречу ЕВРАЗИАДЕ», и будем продолжать наше общение. Может быть, и даже Евразиада будет в следующий раз в Индии, надеюсь. Спасибо большое. Я думаю, разговор был достаточно интересным, глубоким. Спасибо за то, что вы на самом деле неравнодушные люди, находитесь во многих ассоциациях. Вот я услышала, последний спикер в 5, как я посчитала, ассоциациях находится. Значит, спорт жив. Мы все будем продолжать наслаждаться тем, что является частью нашей жизни. Спорт – это часть нашей жизни.
Спасибо большое, коллеги. Спасибо.
И огромное спасибо от Ассамблеи народов Евразии, что вы поддержали наш проект. Мы так быстро организовались. Сегодня этот круглый стол показал, что на самом деле люди – это главное, это наше богатство, это наше, наверное, самое сокровенное. И только поддержка друг друга, и особенно тех людей, которые увлечены именно спортом, если мы будем поддерживать все вместе народы, страны, общества, ассоциации, то, наверное, будет много чемпионов, наверное, будет много просто хороших, нормальных и здоровых людей. До следующей встречи в Уфе. До свидания.
Ура, спасибо, всего доброго.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Всего доброго. До свидания.
И всех, кто является